All right, everybody, welcome to Getting Ready, the Virtual Wellness Summit. I am co-creator of the Virtual Wellness Summit. My name is Damian Kinsey, and I have my great co-host here and also co-creator of the Virtual Wellness Summit, Dr. Farron. Welcome. Introduce yourself to everybody because this is the last day of Meet the Presenters.
Last day of Meet the Presenters. Excited to have everybody here. I'm Tanya Farron. I am the owner of Creative Living Ideas. I am an educator and a mom and an author of 8 different books, working on our 9th book. I have a book about parenting called Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual, a book called Easy Entertaining, a book called Dent Drive, that's a memoir, and I also have 5 different self-care journals that are targeted to teenagers all the way up to adults in corporate world. So check out Creative Living Ideas. And I'm excited to talk to you that I'm co-host with this amazing person here, Damian Kinsey, for the Virtual Wellness Summit and other great summits that we have coming forth.
All right. So thank you for that. We're here. 10 straight days of Meet the Presenters and doing lives. Day 10. Months and months of planning and preparation. We're days away from the Virtual Wellness Summit. Thanks to everybody who's joining us on LinkedIn and YouTube, and those people who just got out of Finding Your Purpose and joining us. So welcome, and we have an amazing group of presenters, and let's start bringing some people up to present for presenters. All right?
Absolutely.
All right. Welcome, everyone.
Right. Yeah.
You want to introduce Deanna, Dr. Farron?
Yes, I'd love to introduce Deanna. So I always like to give a little background on our presenters. And, you know, this group has not been highlighted yet. And so we're really excited to have them be here with us for this session. And Deanna and I met through a very good friend of mine. I was working on the Work-Life Balance Summit, and I needed some more people to be in my summit. And I was talking to my friend, and who's also an educator, and she said, "Oh, I know a person who's a therapist that I think will really mesh well with your topic," and she does a lot of public speaking. And so I met Deanna, and we, you know, hit it off, fast friends right away, and we're able to just talked and had a great time with the Work-Life Balance Summit. She did an amazing job. She held a captive audience, so much that we said, please come back. And she's presenting on 2 topics because the information that she has is incredible. And it is the Wellness Summit. And so, right, what better way to become well than to have a therapist in the house for us? But she is amazing and incredible. I can tell you that some other people on staff at Creative Living Ideas have reached out to her and talked to her about her presentations, and she's so easy to get to know. So I can't wait for you to meet Deanna. So Deanna, tell them a little bit about you.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm excited to be here tonight. The Virtual Wellness Summit was so much fun, Tanya. I just have to say that. And also, Tanya and I are birthday buddies. I learned this year. And so it was like such a connection that we have. This is meant to be. So anyway, I'm a therapist. I'm in private practice. I live and work in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and contract for 2 different clinics here. My postgraduate clinical training is in psychoanalysis, which I love. I can't get enough of it. It's such an interesting way to learn about and think about our minds and how they work. And when I tell people what I do for a living, what I would say the tagline of therapy is for me is helping people make sense of their own minds. We all have a different way our mind functions for ourselves based on how we grew up, the relationships we formed over our lives. And so that's what I do for a living, is I help people make sense of their own minds, and I really love it. It's powerful work. It's good work. And so I'm excited to be a part of the summit again.
I know. We love it. I forgot we were birthday buddies. That was so cool. That was the coolest. She messaged me. She's like,
Yeah.
I think you have the same birthday as me.
Mhm.
That's just a special connection. You can't tell me it's not.
Yes.
All right, Damien, you introduce either Raheem or Brendaliz.
Yeah. Let's go with Brendaliz in the spirit of International Women's Month. Brendaliz is an amazing person who I met in audio rooms at LinkedIn. We were in audio rooms together, the audio circuit, as people sometimes call it. And I got to know Brendaliz. We have similar things in common. Great person and personality. She left corporate to work on her own thing. She's doing breath work. She's doing mindfulness. She's helping people get out of their own way. She does a podcast / live stream on Mondays, which has conversations with people who left corporate to go into entrepreneurship. And she filled in amazing, her and Kinga, when Dr. Farmer was on vacation. So Brendaliz, thank you for being here, and you are presenting at the summit. Tell people about you and let them get to know you.
It's amazing to be here, and I'm still having flashbacks of that day that we filled in for Dr. Farah. I think it was really cool what we were able to do in that 1 hour, and then the after hours, which I don't know if they count, but the after hours were amazing too. Um, I've got to say, I am a holistic transformational coach, and my mission is basically to guide professionals to feel worthy of their success. And doing this through being able to enhance their emotional intelligence and embrace who they want to be, like their path to freedom and purpose, right? Um, in simple English, the way I would explain this is I'm on a mission to help people to stop being slaves of their mind, their emotions, and their past and thrive in the now. Like, I really want people to, for many, many years, I was slave of my past and slave of my emotions, and I was very reactive. And I feel we can live a life where that doesn't need to play the number one role.
Sorry, trying to find my unmute. Brendaliz, I'm excited about what you do and what you're going to share with everyone because, again, healing our past is only going to help us, or, leaving our past is only going to help us to move forward in life and to become well. And so I'm super excited that you're going to talk about that. Thank you.
Thank you as well, Brendaliz. So it's time for me to introduce this gentleman, Dr. Raheem Young, who is one half of Welcome to Fatherhood. I met him through Royce, Sir Royce Brendaliz. They had me on their podcast, Welcome to Fatherhood, episode 100, which I was honored to be on the Chamberlain episode. He does so much work in his community through his nonprofit, Welcome to Fatherhood. He does not only helps fathers, he helps people in his community, does parent symposiums, has conversations around the whole family dynamic. Deanna, you will love him. I think y'all two should connect and have conversations as well. And he's also a professor at a college, university. So, and he does a lot of research on and work and conversations around parents and fatherhood. Dr. Raheem Young, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. And I appreciate the introduction. It was very good. So my name is Dr. Raheem Young. I'm a university lecturer at Governor State University. That's it's a suburb of Chicago. As Damien said, I'm also the co-founder of Welcome to Fatherhood. We're a nonprofit that work with men and families to help them cope with the pressures and stresses of parenting, relationships, everyday life. We do a lot of work in the community is around like research, giving back, community outreach, and that's me. I'm excited for Friday and Saturday. It's a great opportunity to speak, and also just to let more people know about Welcome to Fatherhood. So I appreciate you all inviting us to be a part of this.
We are delighted to have you. I'm just going to say I was so excited that you and Damien were connected with one another. I did watch the whole episode of your interview with Damien. It was incredible. Have shared out your YouTube channel with as many people as I can possibly share it with, because I think what you're doing is incredible. So super excited to have you all with us this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. This is the part of the time when we dig in and decide to, I guess, now, so pouring on is a segment where we use the rain, the energy, and the water to pour on the individuals out there who inspired us during the week. There's so many people that inspired us, or person, place, or thing that we want to kind of give back and kind of highlight them. And we use the water as a positive thing because people think rain is a negative thing. They think cold is a negative thing, but it's not. These are all part of life's journey, and we weather the storm and we get to where we're at by weathering the storm, become better people. So I'm gonna pour on the people. Let me start. And I kept my pouring on this person for the last live on purpose. Oh, where you going, Brendaliz? You moving away? Oh, sorry. So as far as pouring on, I wanted to pour on to Dr. Farron. So Dr. Farron, it would not be any summit without Dr. Farron. She created the virtual, not the professional work-life balance summit. She called me about January last year and said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" I said, "Yeah, of course. What do you want to talk about?" So you see my face right now. That's the face I had to. She said, "Yeah, I have this idea. I want to do this summit. I want to put it together." And I was like, "Okay, what do you need?" And she was like, "Well, I got this idea. I want to do it. Do you think it'll work?" And I was like, "Yeah, it'll work. I think it's a great idea. It's a no-brainer." So we had a conversation. I asked her, what does she need? She said, I need you to do this. And I was like, okay, I'll present in these summits. Fast forward, I was busy doing my own thing, and then I got involved in the summit. People, for some reason, thought it was my summit, and it wasn't. And I always would tell them it's Dr. Farron's summit. In the middle of the summit, we were like, you know what? We got to do another one. And she trusted me to say, hey, let's partner up and do the virtual wellness summit. And we went together and did this journey. And the biggest part about this thing is Dr. Farron at no point in time said, that dream is not big enough. That idea is too much. No, we can't do that. She didn't go from the what if mind state. She went to, how can we do it? Let's try it and let's get it done. And it was so much of a great and fun experience to have and be able to push limits and get out of, I've talked about comfort zone today, because Dr. Farron had that open mind to say, we can do this, this can be done, and we can do it. And we created this virtual wellness summit, and it's not even here, and it's on Friday. And the journey feels like a whole different summit and thing, because Dr. Farron was so forefront and like, we got to do this, we could do this. We met, and I thank you for having the summit. I thank you for incorporating your kids and your family. You did it while you were traveling. It was no complaining, no anything. It was just nothing but positivity, and you don't get that. It was not a stressful event, and we didn't even do the summit yet. So I want to pour on to you, and I kept you for last on purpose because I needed to pour on to you for all the things you have done. So thank you, Dr. Farron, for what you do and what you did.
Aw, thanks, Damien. That was really sweet of you. It's been a blast. It's been so fun. So thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So now, Brendaliz has someone she wanted to pour on to. Brendaliz. Oh, sorry. I gotta bring you a person.
Yes, I want to pour on Lisa Ferrer. I am inspired by the way she's been able to approach um, menopause, and like has made it her mission to educate people on what menopause is. And like she goes beyond just the gender assigned role, and she goes and impacts everybody in the topic that actually it does impact everybody at the end of the day, right? And yeah, we've grown to be it's very interesting because I feel like life takes you on a path and makes you meet the people when you need to meet them and connect with people when you need to connect them. And although I've known Lisa for a while because I've been in her audio rooms a couple of times, we have had a couple of really cool events lately where it looks like it's just the universe pulling us together. So I'm really grateful that Lisa, you're in my life.
And thank you for that. Lisa's in the audience. She's in the comments, and thank you for always supporting us. And Lisa's been at probably every last one of these lives, and I thank you for supporting and appreciate you for pouring on to her. Deanna, you have someone you wanted to pour on to? Or something?
Yeah, I do actually. It's not anyone that I can name by name. It's actually someone that I treat in my practice. But it's amazing to me to see the growth in this person that just really, I've gotten to work with them for a really long time. From the time that they were, gosh, it's probably been about 5 years. I've seen them through a marriage, welcoming a child into a family, the death of someone close to them. And I find that to be so inspiring to get to be a part of these really powerful moments in people's lives and to get to do it for so long. And they've been someone who's just been on my mind a lot this week with the things that we've been talking about. And so that is the person on my mind tonight.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Dr. Young.
Yes. So I guess the person I would like to pour onto is a colleague of mine at Governor State. Her name is Dr. Tanya Roberson. And I chose her because she's like, I think that I'm a busy person. I do a lot of things. But when I look at her, like what I do doesn't compare to like everything that she does. So we work in community and public health. So through that, we have a lot of connections through with community organizations, and she's connected to everybody. She, is always helpful, always like just doing things in Chicagoland area. And she just goes nonstop, even though like she takes care of her mom and like deals with a lot of issues and challenges with her mom's health. She's always in the community, always doing things. And she's never deterred by, nothing that she experiences on that personal level. So she's the person who I'm pouring out to, or pouring on.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm pouring on everyone. So so beautiful. Dr. Farron, do you want to talk about the summit?
I do. I want to pour onto somebody. Well, I kind of want to pour onto a group. This week I had been kind of grabbing larger groups, kind of and pouring onto that. And I just want to pour onto like the kindness that actually is in the world and encourage people to go and look for it. So yesterday, my husband and I were playing golf in Florida, and we were on the practice putting green, and it was almost time for our tee time. And this other couple, we had asked if they were supposed to go in front of us, and they said, our tee time's not till later, but could we partner with you and your wife and go play golf? And we said, yes, of course. And they were from Canada. They were from Quebec, and they spoke, actually, I thought they spoke very good English. They were concerned about the English they were speaking. They mostly speak French, and they were a beautiful couple, and they were so kind. And I just, I encourage people, we turn on the news, we see those things, we see all the negativity in the world, but seek out to find the kind things that people are doing to you, because there's kindness all over our world and appreciate it and be genuine when you're in those moments and in those spaces. So I just want to pour into the people that we'll probably never see again, that I had the most fun round of golf with two strangers that we met and became fast friends, and they were just incredible. And so be those types of people to go out into the world as well, and so, extend that kindness to other people. So I just wanted to pour onto some strangers.
Yeah, people in the chat feel the same way. See kindness. Heidi's going to be at the summit. There are a lot of people out there that's like that. You're seeking link on LinkedIn. Lisa wanted to thank you on Brendaliz. All right. Do you want to get into some questions?
Yes. They were great stories, though. You all are amazing. You are connected to amazing people. I know you're doing amazing work also. And Lisa is awesome. Let's just acknowledge the people in our audience. I know some people had a hard time getting in, so I know that they will be able to watch it on YouTube. I had one person message me and say, listen, I'll watch it on YouTube when it's done. So that's a great thing for me to talk to you about right now. We do have a YouTube channel, Creative Living Ideas does, and this is on the playlist of the Virtual Wellness Show. And so it is streaming live right now. You'll be able to go watch the live right away, and it'll be on that playlist by the morning. So make sure that you connect with that. But thank you, Leslie, for being in the audience. She's at the Virtual Wellness Summit. Heidi is at the Virtual Wellness Summit. Lisa, you are incredible. I have been to your rooms. Thank you so much for the rooms that you have. I love them. Elena, thank you for being here today. I don't know that we've ever connected before, but thanks so much for being here. Kinga, one of our amazing presenters, is in the audience. We've got Annika in here pouring on. Thanks so much, Annika, for being here today. Charlie, thank you for being here. Sorrentha, thank you for being here, and a couple of LinkedIn users. I think I grabbed everyone in the audience. Muhammad, thank you for being here also. So thank you so much. So drop in a chat, a hello to everyone. And then remember, tomorrow probably is the last day you can get your tickets for the Virtual Wellness Summit. So get your tickets. You cannot buy them the day of the Virtual Wellness Summit. It will not allow it. It's a Zoom event. We've learned from other events, it will not happen. So get your tickets now. Make sure that you are ready for it. You can buy a 2-day pass for $159, a 1-day pass for $89. So make sure you grab your tickets to see these incredible presenters. Invite your friends, tell your coworkers about it. All right, so let's start asking these some questions. I want to go into some of the questions that let's start with something light. Let's start with light. Let's say this. A lot of you guys have been doing some like presentations and things like that. So do you like audio rooms or do you prefer lives, like this kind of a live? Which is your go-to, audio rooms or live? Anybody can jump in. Just have a conversation. Okay, Raheem, you go first.
I guess audio room. So like the way that we have our meetings is through Zoom. Mm-hmm. So it's like neither audio room nor live. But I guess if I had to choose, I would choose audio room.
Okay. So when you do your Zooms, you're talking about when you're like interviewing people and then you upload it to YouTube, because you do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So people in the audience, we've got somebody saying live, preferring audio rooms. Drop in what you prefer. Deanna, what is your preference, audio or live?
I would say that if I'm speaking, I like the live because I like being able to interact and see who I'm talking to. If I'm listening, I like an audio room. Because I like to listen while I do other things. Oftentimes, I'm multitasking, so it depends on how I'm coming into the event.
Absolutely, Brendaliz, which do you like?
So I have a love-hate relationship with audio rooms, but I'm gonna have to say audio rooms. There's a couple of different things that I don't necessarily like about audio rooms, but what I do like is the fact that people can interact better and I can be dressed whatever way I want and nobody's judging. I could be doing whatever I want and nobody will judge me. And I love that. It feels like a really safe space. Live events serve like the LinkedIn live events like this one, they serve a specific purpose. So if I want the message to stand and more people to see it and reach more people that may not be able to step into an audio room, I like then the live events. But for the most part, yeah, audio rooms.
All right. Damien, what's your preference? You have to unmute. You're turning
audio
into
room. No, I'm on mute. What happened?
Decent. You're done.
You can
You're
hear
fine.
me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, if you'd asked me a couple of months ago, I would have told you audio room easily. But now I'm thinking. But I would say audio rooms because of Finding Your Purpose and Wishful Wednesday. It kind of started everything for me. So I'm biased towards Wishful Wednesday and Finding Your Purpose. So I would say audio rooms, but I like both of them.
Yeah.
So,
have you ever been in an audio room and you thought, gosh, I want to go back and listen to what did they say about, that's the thing that I don't love about the audio rooms is you can't go back and listen again, to what was said. But with the lives, you can go back and you can listen to it or replay it. And I like that about it. I do like seeing people's faces when they're talking, at least seeing them in one live. When I'm picking up in an audio room, then I can kind of, for some reason, when I can see what a person, like they look like, their mannerisms, like I can conceptualize what they're saying so much better. I don't know why, but I can. There's probably some psychoanalysis that Deanna's doing on me right now with that, I'm sure.
Actually, Tanya, Dr. Tanya.
It was Brendaliz that was doing it. Good.
No. I would add, no. I'm not analyzing anybody. Although I love analyzing things, but no, I'm not. I would add that there's something about audio rooms that I enjoy. And I know there's some people that actually do record the audio rooms, but for the most part, most of the audio rooms I go to, they're non-recorded, which allows people to be their authentic self because they're not scared that whatever they say is going to be taken out of context or somebody's going to share it in a different audience. And it opens the door to a level of vulnerability that the live events sometimes don't.
All right. I like that. Okay. That's good. But I do agree with you, Brendaliz. I like the fact that I can be in my pajamas and listen to an audio room or in my car, and whatever, and just hop in and listen to it. Like when I drive back and forth long distances, I'll just pop in an audio room and listen. It'll entertain me the whole time, so I do agree. I think they both serve a great purpose. All right, Damien, what question do you have?
My question is YouTube or TikTok, what do you prefer? I did a poll on this earlier, and one is like outperforming another one by a landslide. But while you think about that, Dr. Fan, you want to we'll go into the summit and play a quick video and talk about the summit, and then I want your answer about that. All right, and that is a great way to click the QR code, be able to get your ticket to the Virtual Wellness Summit, which is 22 presenters, 2 days, $159 for both ticket days, $89 for one ticket day. Here's the QR code where you can scan right here to get your ticket to the Virtual Wellness Summit. Tickets, last day to get tickets is tomorrow, so don't wait. Go out and get your ticket to the Virtual Wellness Summit. All right. So, what do you prefer, TikTok or YouTube? And I put the poll in the chat, so later on you could go back and cast your vote too, because this was a hot button topic in my family. We were having a conversation. It was so many multiple generations, and the conversation got heated. Debate about TikTok is better, nothing's better than it. YouTube is this and that, and LinkedIn and everything. And then which one do you use most for information and videos? Let's start with Dr. Young, Raheem.
I had a feeling you was gonna call on me. I don't use TikTok at all, really, but I'm pretty sure TikTok is probably leading in the poll that you posted. So I would choose.
Okay.
YouTube.
I'll tell you after everybody goes.
Okay.
What do you have, Brendaliz?
I would have to go with YouTube. I use YouTube a lot. I don't use TikTok. I use YouTube for meditations during the night, like when I'm going to sleep. Like I use YouTube for, if I need to learn how to use things, and I'm actually enjoying the shorts. I feel like the version of shorts, which is what would compare against TikTok, is actually really powerful. If you ask my 13-year-old, she would say TikTok all the way, right? She's been able to grow audiences very quickly in TikTok, and it takes longer to grow them in YouTube. But I do find that YouTube is a little bit more serious. I think there's a lot of more colloquial things or not so serious things in TikTok that doesn't resonate with me as much.
Okay. Deanna.
Oh, without missing a beat, if you'd asked that question and I was saying it out loud, I would have said YouTube. I'm also not on TikTok, but I watch plenty of Instagram reels and that sort of thing. And I could sadly waste a whole day watching those short videos, and it messes with my attention span, and I can't stand it. I don't think I'm my best version of myself. Whereas YouTube, I mean, what can't you get on YouTube that's so valuable? I've learned how to do all kinds of things on my car on YouTube, like that kind of stuff. I mean, cooking videos, everything, you name it. I love to go to the movies. I love movies and analyzing characters, and inevitably I'll listen to movie recaps on YouTube. I love YouTube. I think it's the best. I currently have beef with them because they've upped their ads. They have a lot more ads these days, so I'm debating on getting YouTube Premium, but YouTube all the way.
Dr. Farron.
I love it. I don't know. I love both. They're both serve a purpose, in my opinion. TikTok is fun. Who doesn't want to watch dog videos? I do, They make me happy at night. They're silly, the dog that just keeps jumping in the pool and they try to get him out of the house. It's hilarious. I don't know what to say. So I love that. I also have a video that went viral, a couple of videos that people love, which are kind of funny. One is a cooking of my Ani pasta, all because I said kielbasa wrong. I put a K in there, and boy, that sucker just went like wildfire. But I sold a lot of cookbooks, so okay. So it worked out fine. And then, I love YouTube though also for those longer pieces. I do like to do a lot of meditation, Brendaliz, from YouTube. I love to listen to Bob Proctor and Abraham Hicks through YouTube. And if you ask my husband, pretty much he could fix anything based upon watching a series of YouTube videos. He has implemented many new things in our home because he watched it over and over on YouTube and went through every one of them. In fact, he says he's taken enough flight hours on helicopter flying that one day he may save our life. You never know. Like he may be able to take over.
Wow. All right. Dr. Young, you asked. So I'll show you. Here's the leading poll for today. 73% saying YouTube.
For the record, when I voted, I said YouTube. I did. Just for the record.
Why do you say sadly, Damien?
No, I said 73%. I'm not sadly. I like YouTube. I don't even have TikTok. So 73%. Those people out there who were gun-ho about TikTok, I don't know. You're not winning right now. I see some of the comments in there as well, and the conversations I'm having with folks. So you TikTok people, go out and vote. It's 2 days left.
We may need an age group on this one. I really hate to say that. I think
I'm looking in there, seeing the people in there. You'll be surprised.
Like Brendaliz says,
but it's LinkedIn. But you asked the question in LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like, I think if
It's
you would
the
have asked that
demographics.
question
When you look at the
somewhere
people in
else,
demographics, you'll be surprised who you thought, like the age group that you thought is not saying yes.
but it's still LinkedIn. Like, it's if
That's-
they're answering your message in LinkedIn, they're probably using LinkedIn for business purposes, etc., etc. So I don't think this is a. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what, Damien, to balance out the research, you have to post it on
What
Facebook.
Jay-Z said?
Eh,
Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Look, see?
Yeah, post it on Facebook and Instagram and see what we get.
Hey, it's 2 days left. It might make a turnaround. I doubt it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I guess the message here is that we need to expand our reach through TikTok because that's what people feel. But if we go to LinkedIn people, they would say go to YouTube. So yeah.
I love
think
it.
YouTube is winning more so because you get more long-term podcasts. People are not. I don't have TikTok. I don't think people are going for those viral podcasts on TikToks.
They
So
don't.
I think that's probably why. And also those how-tos started on YouTube. So YouTube is something that we've been using for so long that is familiar. But good luck with that, with your TikTok. Brendaliz, good luck. I'm rooting for you. But
Well, I could tell you, my daughter will sit here and she can justify TikTok for you in 1,000 different ways. But yeah.
And so Leslie asked, is Lexi here? She's not, but Annika's here, Leslie. And I have a feeling, Annika, put your choice in there, TikTok or YouTube, and we'll get another generation. Oh, I love it. I love it so
you
much.
can
This is
vote,
great.
Kinga. It's still open for 2 days. All right. Dr. Farron.
Oh,
what do you
gosh.
have?
I love these questions, Well, let's take a minute because we're 37 minutes in. Let's just kind of recap and go over the 2 days of the summit just to go over this really quickly. Damien's got some slides he can maybe throw up there that show you all of the conversations that are going to be had at the Virtual Wellness Summit. Again, if you are planning, so thank you, Christy, for joining us at the Virtual Wellness Summit, clearing your 2-day calendar. We're excited you're going to be here. If you don't have your ticket, grab your ticket today. Make sure you get it. Also, I want everybody in the audience to click that QR code and scroll through and look at all the descriptions of all the presenters. Like you said, we have 23 amazing presenters, 26 different presentations. I'll be doing a keynote welcoming you. We have all of these listed in here, these amazing events. Energy, impacting your success, stress management, revealing your wellness hero, yoga for self-care, eating well when you don't cook, healing relational traumas, breaking through burnout, building your community through curiosity, how to save a life, meditation for all, enhance your support network to prevent burnout, unlocking your best self, networking, breakout room. That's all day one. That's day one. That's a lot of choices in day one. Day two, how to end the stigma on mental health, poetry for mental health, managing impossible people at work or at home, unlocking potential, using affirmations to support your child's education, the anatomy of a team, meet the presenters, so you get to just hang out with the presenters, wild about AI, an introduction to Ruby, and all you get, gain understanding, storytelling, a leader's secret weapon, consistency towards greatness, educator to entrepreneur, 6 steps to igniting a thriving business, living a life of no regret, good grief, and Damien is closing us out. So amazing 2 days. So go ahead and click that. You can see all the presenters. All of these people have been on here. So if you go to the YouTube channel also and subscribe to that, you can scroll through and see all of these amazing people who have, come together in a really incredible way. Our presenters have really connected with one another and have enjoyed time together. I know some of them are off doing separate projects together now that they've met each other and they have a connection, and that's incredible. That's what we want. So when you come to the summit, we want you to connect with the presenters. We want our presenters to tell you everything that they do so that you can become well, whether you need additional help with parenting, or you need to work on, how you have questions about grief, or about suicide prevention, about coaching and, breath work, they're here for you. And even if it's something, Damien did just do a lot or audio event on your comfort zone. Try something new, learn something new while you're here, put something new in your toolbox. So really excited for that. So with that being said, why don't you guys all give a little taste of what they're going to get from your presentation. So Deanna, we'll start with you. You're doing 2 presentations, and explain to everyone why you selected these for a wellness summit.
Yeah, so the first presentation that I'm doing on Friday is called How to Save a Life on suicide awareness and prevention. And the second one that I'm doing on Saturday is called Good Grief on grief and loss. I chose both of these topics because they're topics that are hard to talk about. They're topics that I think that we want to shy away from, and they're topics that actually have a huge impact on all of us. Grief in particular is one where I think that people are kind of afraid to talk about it. I think there's this low level unconscious fear that if we talk about it, that somehow we're going to invite it into our lives. And the reality is that grief impacts everybody. It impacts people certainly in the context of death and dying, but not just death and dying. We experience grief and loss in a multitude of ways in our lives. And so talking about that, making space for that, I think is so important because we live in a society where you get 3 bereavement days and probably people will bring you a casserole. And then we kind of hope that you're done being sad because we all want to move on and everybody likes it when everyone feels good. But one of the things that I wish as a therapist I could get the whole world to understand is that we are not going to all feel good all the time. That is an unrealistic expectation. We are going to have hard things that come into our lives, and we have to make space to talk about those things. The reason I chose suicide is that that's another topic. Again, it's hard to talk about. And actually, one of the biggest misconceptions around suicide is that if we talk about it, people are more likely to commit suicide. And that is absolutely not true. If we talk about it, people are less likely to commit suicide. It reduces the stigma. It increases awareness. It makes it so much more accessible to get help or to get help. And, I don't know if you guys know this, but the number one killer of men under 45 is suicide. That's huge. And as a matter of fact, men die by suicide at a rate of, I think, around 75 to 77% is what I've read in all the research. It's huge. And they are much less likely to get therapy. There's this idea that men need to man up. They can't talk about their feelings, but those rates would tell me that actually that there's a lot that happens for men that we need to be able to talk about and make space for. And so I like to reduce stigma. I think it's important to do it. I like to talk about things that are hard to talk about. If my mom was here, she'd be rolling her eyes and be like, oh gosh, this is obnoxious, but it's true. And so these are 2 topics that I think are really important and that I feel really passionate about. And I'm excited to bring them to the Wellness Summit because they're a part of our wellness.
They really, really are. And so I really appreciate you doing that because they are hard topics. And I remember, I'm just going to go into this, when I was a principal in a brick and mortar, our school district was doing suicide training awareness for parents. And I was scared to death to go to it. I'm going to be very honest with you. I was so scared. I didn't really want to know. My daughters were teenagers and I was scared to know. And then I remember going to an event where we had to be trained. And it was hard, but then it got easier. And then I was able to open the door to conversation with my daughters. And so it's so important because if you have any teenagers, I'm saying teenagers right now, but anyone, as you just said, right? You just gave statistics on men and ages of 45 and below. But opening that door, but teenagers, your kids are going to come to you with a conversation. I promise it's going to happen about someone who said it, someone who did it, someone who's thinking about it. And you have to have the tools to know what to do. And I'm so glad that my school district gave me the tools. And I'm glad that you're here to give these tools also. So with that being said, I'm going to segue to Raheem, Dr. Young, because what Dr. Young is doing for men with Welcome to Fatherhood is, I don't even know if I want to say this is parallel or just smashed right together. What do you think? What do you think, Dr. Young? You tell me.
Yeah, it's smashed right together. Yeah. The topic me and Royce are doing on this Saturday is called "And All You Get, Gain Understanding," and this came about in our 8-week sessions. We have a program that we call 8-week sessions, and the first 3 sessions, or the first 3 weeks, it focuses on the person, right? So understanding yourself, like how did you develop your concept of what manhood is? How did you develop your concept of what fatherhood is? And how does all of these things pertain to you? A lot of the times when we when we ask ourselves these questions, like the concepts of what we think manhood or fatherhood is, it didn't originate with us, or it didn't originate in our own minds. Either it came from like your social environment, came from your parents, your father. It usually comes from something that somebody told you, and then you try to emulate, and then that's where sometimes you can run into difficulty. So I guess I'll give like context of the whole 8-week session now. So like I was saying, the first 3 sessions we focused on the person, and getting the person to understand like themselves and where their concepts or ideologies come from. Then the next 3 weeks we focus on the father and the mother and their relationship. And then the last 2 weeks we focus on the whole family. So the mother, the father, and the child. So in All You Get, Gain Understanding, that came from the first couple of weeks of the 8-week session program that we have. And in All You Get, Gain Understanding, we talk about just like gaining knowledge of self. So the way that we do it, we do like I'm forgetting the word, but Socratic. Yeah, we use like a Socratic method where we don't necessarily. We do give like tips at the end, but we initiate the conversation through questions, right? So we ask like a lot of questions. So like, where did you get this idea from? How does this make you feel? Different things like that. And then like once like we get that out the way, then at the end we come in with like suggestions on how to develop knowledge of self. So that's where the topic came from. And it's also like in All You Gain Understanding, it's a biblical verse. I'm forgetting what verse it is. If anybody knows, let me help me out.
In the chat. Yeah. No, so what I think is incredible, and when you and I think actually I don't know that you and I have met one-on-one, but I know that Royce and I met together. And giving men the space literally to know that they're not alone, to know there is a lot of pressure on fathers, to be the head of the family, to lead the charge of the family, to be able to handle all the stress of everyone. And so to provide a space for the fathers to really know they're not alone, to express their emotions, to learn how to connect. You're right. The only way we learned how to be a parent was by the people that we had as our parents. So if you had parents that passed away early, or you had parents that were not in your, relationship, or they had other issues, you may not have the best examples. And so where do you learn that from, and how do you move forward? So what an incredible session that you're going to have. And I hope a lot of people really connect with you also. And then to go through with this, we have Brendaliz.
Real quick. The thing that I like about Welcome to Fatherhood, the premise is about fatherhood, but Royce and Raheem go deeper than that. They talk about the whole family dynamic. In their symposiums, there's grandmothers there, there's mothers in there. They talk about the whole entire family dynamic, and the bigger picture is about you just don't leave out the fathers, and fatherhood is so important, and it's a big experience, but it takes the whole community to raise this particular child, and they bridge the gap between fatherhood, the community, and the other parent. So Thank you for that. And Brendaliz, go ahead. Sorry.
Incredible. Well, I was just going to say also with this Brendaliz, like we've talked about this every night. We did not sign these people up together. They kind of just happened together. The universe put you guys in these spaces and, you know, to have all three of you in here, right? And so then Brendaliz is going to also give you tools, right, for breath work to relieve your stress. So tell them about what you're going to be doing. Like this is perfect.
So a couple of things. So I'll be talking about burnout specifically. As someone who comes from corporate, I had multiple incidences of burnout through my career. And even as I did the jump into entrepreneurship, I found myself having episodes of beginning of having burnout with my awareness that I have today. I can like recognize it very quickly and stop it and take action, right? Very immediately. But for me, burnout is something that as I go deeper and deeper into studying it, I recognize that a big percentage of our burnout comes from our belief system. So I'm going to be talking about burnout. I'm going to be talking about how our belief system contributes into burnout and how different things that we can do to start to evolve and change our belief system. I'll mention a little bit some techniques on breath work. I'll mention different NLP techniques that can be used, but it's because I do believe that until we go back to the root cause of what's causing our behaviors and the way we act, it's really difficult to eradicate burnout. So the more we go into our behaviors and what drives our behaviors, the more we are able to basically say, let's prevent burnout. And funny enough, I see the connection now in terms of Rahim, Deanna, and myself. So yes, I don't believe in coincidence. I do believe that things happen for a reason. And there's a greater hand out there that it's moving all the pieces as they need to be moved. Because if think about it this way, if I'm able to understand better my belief system, if I'm able to work with those unconscious beliefs that I may not necessarily be aware, if I'm able to eradicate and change then behaviors, I may not have to live what I need to what I'm experiencing in terms of high levels of stress, which could result in one way or another into a potential suicide attempt. So yeah, I see the connection very clearly today.
Right. Incredible, isn't it? I mean, yeah. And again, like such important topics, all three of them, in one summit. Like that's, I don't know where you're going to find that. Just being honest. So, all right, Damien, you're up.
So my question is this: not who or how, but what inspires you to do the work that you do and continue to move forward? So what inspires you to do the work that you do and continue to move forward?
I can go. I have actually like a really quick thought for that came to my mind. It's relationships for me. We move through this world in the context of relationships. It happens from the second we are born. We are born into relationship with those around us. And one of my favorite contemporary relational analysts will say that we're conceived in relationship, we're formed in relationship, we're harmed through relationship, and we're healed through relationship. And I think that that's really what does it. That's such the kind of the heartbeat and the backbone of the work that I do. But when I think about my life and the transformational moments that happened and the things that happen, they happen in the context of relationships. The ones that we're building here now, the ones that will be built at the summit, all starting from one friendship that I had that led me to you, Tanya, that led to this. It all happens in the context of relationships. And that's how I kind of see so much of what happens in my life and so much of the growth that even I experience and just the joy and the richness that comes. And so, yeah, that was my thought, Damien, as you asked the question.
And thank you for that. I appreciate it. Dr. Young, Rahim.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what Deanna just said. I like that. And I was thinking, like, even if like you were on the desert island, you know, you still have a relationship with yourself. So yeah, I don't know. That was just I was just thinking about what she was saying. I guess for me, I'm sorry if I'm taking a lot of time, but I guess I mean I would say relationship is a part of it. Just to piggyback, um, and I don't know, hope popped into my mind. Um, I work in a lot of communities that's kind of lacking that, or is lacking a lot of things, a lot of services and resources. Um, so I guess like hope is one of them. Hope that you know things can get better. Mm, yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it with hope because I know we might be running out of
I
time.
love that. Hope. Thank you. Appreciate that. Brendaliz.
So if I understood the question right, is about why we do the work we do, right?
Yep.
For me, it goes into a couple of buckets, but I'm going to try to simplify this as much as I can. I believe in humanity. I believe in the human power. I believe that we are the creators of our life and that we can change our tomorrow. And the more we educate people to know that they have the power to change their lives, the more we will have a ripple effect in humanity. I believe that it takes is one person at a time. I'm a believer that I can change the world one person at a time because there's a ripple effect in the work that we do. And if I'm able to take someone who, as I mentioned at the beginning, is a slave of their emotions, is in a very reactive mode all the time, and I'm able to get them to a point where they can understand what are the things that they have control and they don't have control, that they can be less reactive, their family, their friends, their children will have the impact, and as a result we're healing the world. And that's why I do the work I do, because I do believe we have the power within ourselves to heal the world. Oh my god, I got goosebumps.
Me too, from all of the statements.
Yeah. Dr. Farron.
Well, you know, on my profile here in LinkedIn, my background is be the change you wish to see in this world. And when I became a principal 14 years ago in my own building, my staff was immediately looking to me for direction. And that was the quote that I hung in my office. And they knew that was my motto, basically, that I was going to live by. And I actually had peers that were joking with me because we had the Gandhi quote on the back of our shirts our first year. And they were like, oh, pretty brave. You know, Farron's over here, you know, putting Gandhi quotes on the back of the shirts. And I'm like, but is it not true? Like, if we want change, then we have to look inward, right? And we first have to grow and take care of ourselves so that we can help heal the rest of the world. And so I can't look and point fingers. I have to look at how can I help this world become a better place. And so that's my goal as well, you know. And so that's why I do the work that I do, and I've been doing the work that I do, is to be the change, and not the complaint system, not the complaint department, but what can I do to make the world better. So yeah, it's stuck with me for a long time.
Yeah, thank you for that, everyone. Appreciate it. It's a lot.
What about you, Damien? You're like, you know, yeah. What about you? I'm not gonna put words into your mouth. What about you?
I learned at an early age that sometimes in life it's not about you. And I come from a community that doesn't deserve to be shortchanged. When I go to work or do things for people in my community, I take it serious because you have so many people who have been let down, who give empty promises, sell things that are not reality, and then you have these families that end up coming into Deanna's office, who come to school with Dr. Farron, and she has to deal with it and not know what's going on, or they have a kid and they end up where Raheem is at, and it's crazy because my brain is making the connection that every last one of your jobs parallel until my whole career of what I've done, and like needing that time to go see someone like Brendaliz and reposition themselves, and they don't get that because they're not able to open up to people. I've worked with communities and families who have dealt with 7, 10 different community-based person that said they were trying to do the right thing, want to help them, and just didn't show up for them. Clocked in but didn't really clock in. Like they were at work but didn't do the work. And I wake up and I got on LinkedIn because I needed resources for my families and my communities I work with. I didn't believe in sitting there and waiting for anyone to do the work for me. I have 2 legs, 2 feet, and I know how to talk. And I went out and got connections to get things for my community. That's what drives me. That is what is important to me. That is why I do audio events, to give back and make sure that those people who don't have $10 million or $2,000 to do a room or get information, to get it. That is why I'm doing the Virtual Wellness Summit, to make sure that those people in tech, education, and all those fields who are burnt out, who have been ignored, who are dealing with situations, who can't afford it, to make sure that we have a summit that's affordable, that people can afford it. I do the work because there are so many people out there who need people to hear from, and they need people to ring the bell and talk for them. So I wake up every day inspired by the people around me, regardless of how great their job is or how little their job is, because we're all part of the same system, the human race, and we all need to get up and make sure we're doing our part. So I wake up every morning making sure I do my part. So that is what inspires me every single day, the people around me, my community, and even the thought and hope that every day will be better. I know I was long, but thank you.
That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. So thank you for sharing your heart and passion, because it's important for people to know your purpose and what we're doing. So yes, it is important to all of us. And so I think that's one thing that's super unique about the people at the Virtual Wellness Summit. Also, we connected with everyone personally on different levels, and we found people who, we're going to be able to bring forth what we feel our audience needs to help and support them in a variety of ways in their life. So come join us, come play with us. I know we got a little heavy here, we got a little light, and you're going to find those emotions at the summit as well, so come join us, come play with us. It's going to be a great 2 days. It's going to fly by like that. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. And then, you're going to gain so much from it. So make sure you click the QR code, get your ticket. 2 days, $159, 1 day, $89. You can come either Friday, you can come Saturday, buy it for somebody for Mother's Day, buy it for yourself as a treat, to help yourself get well and get yourself in the direction that you need to be in. Again, we talked about, what is the age group? I think if you're 18 years or up, this is great for you to come and listen. You're going to gain something. So anybody in between would be great. We'd love to have you. You want to close us out, Damien?
Final thoughts, and then we wrap. Oh,
yeah.
Final thoughts, and then we wrap up. Everyone. We went with. Okay.
I'll go first because I've been last all along, which I like being last. That's fine. I want to say that whoever's watching this and hasn't not yet made the decision of going into the summit, this is your time. I've gotten to know Farah. I've gotten to know Damien even closer as I've been part of this journey. And I feel like the work that they have put together and the summit that they have created with our support is actually going to be pretty amazing. So if you haven't done so, go ahead, click, just calculate how many cups of coffee it's equivalent to, and just go on a caffeine strike if you need to. But you don't want to miss this.
Yeah, thank you for that, Lisa. Thank you, Brendaliz. Who's next? Set caffeine strike.
Well, I'll go. Well, I'll second everything Brendaliz said. And again, I want to thank you too for this opportunity, to be a part of it. It's looking like it's going to be a great event. I've had the opportunity to connect with some of the other presenters, and everybody seems like their workshop is going to be the best. But yeah, it's going to be a great 2 days, Friday and Saturday. If you all, if you haven't signed up, make sure that you do, and I look forward to seeing you all there.
Thank you for that, Deanna.
I can tell. Yeah, I think what was so exciting about the first summit that happened was it's like everyone's so excited and believes so strongly in what they have to share. And it's so fun to be a part of something where people believe in what they're coming to present on, and the drive and the passion to share this with people and to get this information out. And what I think is so fun about the summit and great about an event like this is you get to come and you get to listen and take information in and build new relationships. And then it's about how you need to apply it to your life. This isn't one size fits all, but you take what you need as you need it for where you are in your life now. And there'll be lots of information that will be a benefit to, I believe, anyone who can come. So I'm really excited for it. It's going to be so fun.
Absolutely. You were making me think, Deanna, we're approaching with entrepreneurship and businesses, we're approaching the end of first quarter, right? And at the beginning of the year, we did some goal setting. I've held an audio room. Damien and I did some goal setting and talked about that. So if you're here at this first quarter and you're reflecting on your goals and you're thinking, maybe I've kind of lost sight of really what I wanted for my own personal wellness, this is a great way to get you back on track. So come here and find some new things and get yourself going. So we would love to see you. That's my closing.
And for me, Brendaliz, thank you for saying that coffee strike. I started drinking coffee for like 2 weeks and my head started hurting, so I stopped. So that's what was funny to me when you said that. Figure out what you need in your life and what you want to do. Go out and get it. The summit is just a tool and a resource, and be open to exploring the resource of the summit, meaning that click the QR code, go out, go see what the presenters are doing on the summit, make an informed decision, collaborate with other individuals to get the summit, make it a summit party on Saturday at your home. I know you can connect your computer to your TV, ask questions, and see if you can go in tomorrow and ask your supervisor or your company to pay for it. It's $159 for 2 days, $89 for 1 day. And it's definitely going to be a great experience because you can look back at the lives and see what the experience is. You can imagine when each individual does their workshop. So my final thought is thank everybody who has been a part of the summit. And I cannot wait until Friday to go in the room and see what's going on with this amazing project. So with that said, let's say goodbye to everyone. Thank you all for coming. And we do have a reel where you can see everybody on the summit. And we'll see you on Friday and Sunday for the recap at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Goodbye.